how do you feel about being on specifically a podcast date? Because, of course, you've been on regular dates face-to-face or...
There's positive and negative. It's a little bit of a sterile environment, but I'm actually really happy you're here, like as a little buffer.
I'm glad.
Because if it goes terribly wrong,
I'll save you, girl.
And I can blame you.
Yeah, I'll be the scapegoat. I'll be the scapegoat to all the things that go wrong in this date.
Yeah, but if it goes really well, then thank you for introducing me to my husband.
This date goes really, really wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a better story.
I want somebody who can take care of themselves and like be on their own and do their own thing, like I don't like the clinginess, and I don't like
so you say that until you fall in love, and then you want them to be clingy.
Well, I guess that's why we're here.
Exactly. So without further ado, let's bring out our other contestant, and we are going to see if both of you guys are down to date. Hey guys, this is Kendall Long with Down to Date, the podcast where we bring two complete strangers together on a podcast to see if they are down to date. You and I are going to be a fly on the wall to see if they're down to go on a second date. So without further ado, let's get started. I am here with Jessie and Bill. Hello. And guys, we're going to see if you guys are down to date. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
So ready.
Do you guys feel like there's a little bit of nerves going on? I feel like both of you expressed a little bit of nerves.
Always.
Yeah. I mean, it would be weird if I didn't, right?
This is true. But you guys are like both very chill, relaxed.
That's like my facade.
Yeah.
But normally I'm like a freak on the inside.
So I think first we're going to start off with story time. So Great. Each of you guys is going to have 1 minute on the clock, and you're going to say your entire life story with as much detail as possible.
Love it.
So Jessie, you're going to be going first because I just feel like you're just ready to tell your entire life story in 1 minute. All right, we're going to have 1 minute on the clock.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, I was born in Ohio to mom and dad. I have a sister who's younger than me. Always grew up with pets. At a young age, I moved from Ohio to Denver to Minnesota, and that's where I went to high school. Then went to college in University of Denver in Colorado. My parents got divorced, and my mom moved to Michigan. My dad moved to Indiana. I graduated from University of Denver, went down to Alabama working for Time Inc., which is a magazine company, as a prop stylist. And then shit went down there. I quit my job, had my quarter life crisis, as I like to say, moved in with my dad in Indiana, took a year off, worked at a spa, tried to find myself, still haven't. And then I moved to Nashville to be close to my sister, 6 months, and then got a job out in LA, moved out here in a week, and then I jammed my finger in the door this morning, and now we're here.
Dang. 3 seconds. 2, 1.
The end.
It's too late. It's too late. Yeah. Man, you actually got a lot in that period of time. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
And I feel like you've done a lot. You've moved to a lot of different places.
I really have. I'm like a nomad.
Well, I feel like you've lived many different lives in your one life.
I have. Wow. It's like I'm a cat. Oh, I have a cat. I forgot to say that.
Oh, see, cat.
Dang.
Right here. I'm
Yeah.
going to write it down. Cat. That is actually a huge deal, whether you're a cat person or you're a dog person.
I'm an animal person.
Animal? Okay.
I like them both.
You like them both? All right. Well, that's good. I'm glad we're on agreement.
I just want a house full of animals.
Like Noah's Ark.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm a dog person. I don't know if I can ever live with a cat, but I do admire
You haven't
cats.
met my cat. She plays fetch.
Oh.
I didn't think I was a cat person until I met cool cats. I was like, this is it.
I think you meet a cool cat.
Yeah.
And maybe
I could do this.
I won't be as, dogs.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Bill, are you ready?
I am.
All right, we have 1 minute on the clock. Your entire life story in as much detail as possible. Your mark, get set, go.
Born and raised in Memphis. My parents have been divorced my whole life. I am one of 8 siblings. I worked at a pizza place for like 9 years. I went to school at the University of Tennessee. I was there for 6 years, graduated. A lot of fun, good times. Can't really tell you what happened. Moved back home. Also had a quarter life crisis. And
don't all millennials.
I had a couple of siblings living out here. So they brought me, or one of them brought me out, and I have been out here for 3.5 years, or 4 years, something like that. Been working at the studio for however long it's been, and just been trying to, start a new life, not back home in Tennessee. As much as I love it back there, it's I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You still have 4 seconds.
Okay.
Pets.
The end.
The end?
No,
all right,
no
that's
pets.
good. That's enough to say the end.
Yeah.
All right, man, you also have done traveling.
I haven't lived as many places as she has.
This is
though.
true.
For
This is
better or
true.
for
Maybe
worse,
not as
you
many
know?
lives. Maybe instead of 9 cat lives, you've had around 3 cat lives.
I still got 6.
And you both have had quarter life crises.
Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like classic millennial. Am I right? We
That's
just can't.
true.
We can't deal.
We all have those moments where we're like, what are we going to do with our life? And where are we going with our life? I've
Yeah.
definitely
Because
had
no
that
one
too.
prepares you after college that you know what to do.
Okay, so that being said, we've gotten all of the surface level questions out of the way. I don't know, that kind of went in depth, I feel.
Yeah.
But to make it even more in depth, I have with me the jar of forbidden questions.
Oh,
Or
no.
the jar of questions you never
yeah.
want to bring up on a first date. So this is the
Yes.
jar you should fear.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, I
Okay.
don't know if I fear it. I'm
No?
excited.
Oh, she looks fear right into the eyes.
Yeah.
That being said, you should go first.
So do I answer the question? Do I ask him the question?
You answer the question. We're also
Okay.
going to force him to answer it too because,
Okay.
that's life.
Do you have a secret hunch on how you will die?
Ooh.
That's a good one. Is he answering or am I answering?
Either one.
Oh, good. It's
You
for
go
you.
first.
No.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
I actually don't.
Really?
I have no idea. I don't because I feel like the normal answer would be, I mean, not that this is a normal question, but would be something, along the lines of like a disease or a car crash. And I don't really have any, knock on wood, like diseases that run in my family.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, very lucky. And so I don't really have that.
Is there a way you'd prefer to die?
Ooh. Other than peacefully.
Or go out with a big bang? I mean,
yeah, in my sleep.
in your sleep?
Yeah.
That's such a boring way to die.
I know. But
like
like
you
I'm
could do
already
so much better than
terrified
that.
of it. So like why I want to lessen the fear. So like might as well just
Maybe
be
you have
asleep.
like a really wicked dream. Like those dreams when you fall off a cliff and then you actually die in real life.
That's imaginative.
Yeah.
I like it.
But all right, how about you? Do you ever have a hunch about Bill?
Obviously, I feel like every human's thought about it, but every time I've thought about it, it's just been something. I think it's gonna be quick and like something that just happens, because it's like I said, every time I thought about it, I just that's like it's been like shut off. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Quickly,
but
brains
that's
just
also
like I don't want to talk about this.
yeah. It's like nope.
I'm
this
not having
isn't-
this conversation
not
with you
yet.
again,
You're
Kendall.
not
We're
ready.
not talking about death.
I don't know.
So you think
Quick.
car accident,
Quick.
like something quick, crazy.
Yeah, hopefully like a little cooler in a car accident.
Yeah,
you
like,
know?
I say bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like that's more common than we give it credit for.
That is one reason why I refuse to bungee jump.
Or we'll just move on to the second question and forget about death altogether.
yeah, let's move on.
Me?
Yes. All right, now Bill is picking a question.
Okay. Do you think drugs should be legalized? Wow. Yes and no. Like maybe certain drugs, yes, but like from experience, I know that if some shit was legal, then I wouldn't be able to control myself, and it would just get out of hand. And I probably speak for a good majority of the people that do use drugs. There's definitely like benefits to having certain drugs legalized.
Taxes.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, you can make money off of them for sure if you want to go down that route. But what was it? Is it Venezuela that legalized all drugs? Or there's a country that did, and it's actually like working for them. Don't hold me to that to it being Venezuela, but I don't think Americans can handle that. I don't think
Too much
think we
freedom. Guys, this is
yeah,
America.
too
We
much-
can't only a little
Too
bit
much
only
freedom.
a
We're gonna
certain amount
pump
of
brakes
freedom.
on the
Like we
freedom
really
here a little
can't
bit.
handle that much freedom. Just like enough freedom.
Enough to think we're free,
Yes.
I definitely think we're too strict on certain drugs. Like, they need to let up a little bit and focus their efforts.
I think it's
more on
slowly
other
starting with
Yeah.
weed being legalized. Slowly with
psilocybin too, which is
what the heck is psilocybin?
it's
in Denver, right?
psychedelic mushrooms.
Oh,
So there's like a lot. There's this amazing book by Michael Pollan. Who
I love Michael Pollan.
Yeah, so he did a book about mushrooms and the benefits of mushrooms and how it's helping like people with anxiety and depression and why am I forgetting this word? Like disease that you can't cure.
Uncurable diseases.
Lack of a better
I
word,
believe
yes.
the term you're looking for is uncurable diseases.
Like Alzheimer's and things like that
Yes.
as well.
Guys, I love that question.
It's a good
We're
one.
gonna ask
That is a
another
good one.
Jessie, you're going to get another one.
Okay. Oh. Have you ever smoked pot? Yes.
You know what? I feel like this really related to the last
Yeah.
question a lot.
I did that on purpose,
Yeah,
actually. You're welcome.
exactly. You're like,
welcome.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
how it all ties together.
Yeah. I have smoked pot, but it is not for me. I have anxiety, and it actually worsens the anxiety. Whereas a lot of people, it does the opposite. It just makes me really paranoid.
I don't do it as much as I used to in terms of like waking up and just being high all day. That was definitely a younger me thing. But like you said, it's, when I'm in the work setting or if I'm like having to like talk to people or just go out and do things, I don't know. It just makes me get in my own head.
All right. One more question. And Bill, you have the honor of the last.
Okay. Another pink one.
The pink ones are the really crazy ones.
What are your thoughts on same-sex marriage? If that's what you want to do, then you go for it. I'm not. Who am I to judge? Who am I to say what you can and can't do? If that's how you feel, if that's what you want to do, then sure, why not? It doesn't affect me. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a healthy mindset.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm for it.
All right. See, we are in agreement, guys.
Just an ally. Once again, yeah, you do you. As long as there's no harm done to yourself or others, like, why the hell not?
Yeah.
So we're in
exactly.
agreement about drugs and same-sex marriage, all the
Yeah.
things. Looks like overall
Covered
you guys
all the bases over
you guys
here.
have like the same things in common so far.
Yeah.
There hasn't really. See, I always hope that these questions are really controversial,
Yeah.
and they'll cause like a whole debate going on.
Well, that
but
would be fun. Should we want to pretend?
yes, fight. No, actually, that's coming later, guys. That's coming later. Actually, it's actually coming up next during game time. We're gonna take a little bit of a break, but when we come back, we are going to debate. Game time is next. Woohoo! We have a new sponsor that's been getting a lot of buzz on social media. It's called Luc Belair, and it's the most amazing French bubbly I have ever tasted. Honestly, between podcasts, when it gets a little hardcore, which these podcasts tend to do, I like to chill out, have some Luc Belair, and it gets me ready and nice and ready and loose for the next episode that we are recording. So Luc Belair sounds very fancy, and you can use it for a lot of fancy occasions. You can use it for fine dining, but Luc Belair is also something you can drink with your girlfriends, a fun girls' night, and just, have a little bit of bubbly to loosen up everything. Luc Belair, that's what I personally love to use it for, is those chill hangout nights. Luc Belair has 4 unique styles, the #1 French rosé in America, which is a very admirable title, plus Luxe Gold and Luxe Rosé. Every sip evokes the French luxury, which I love to feel whenever I am drinking a nice cold bubbly. So the one that I got was the #1 French rosé in America. I was like, I have to try this out. I have to try out the #1 French rosé. And I have to say, it was amazing. I think rosé is a lunch wine. So I had it with some lunch, and it's very, very good. And it actually pairs well with a lot of different meals. But do not let the lavish packaging fool you. Luc Belair is truly for everybody. I want you all to experience Luc Belair and love it as much as I do. So I've arranged for all my listeners to get 30% off their first order by going to lucbelair.com/long. That's lucbelaire.com/long, LONG, for 30% off your first order, lucbelair.com/long. We're going to talk about one of my favorite things to talk about, which is shoes and clothing. And I just can't get enough of different shoes, especially since I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling and I'm also getting into different weather climates. So I need to get all the shoes for all the things. Today, millions of women get their personalized fashion fix from ShoeDazzle with access to top trends, style inspiration, and world-class service. Guys, I have definitely used ShoeDazzle a bunch of times and I absolutely love it. And the one really cool thing about it is that you have to take a 60-second style quiz and you receive a personalized showroom of pieces specifically catered towards your own unique style. So there's no more looking hours and hours through page after page after page, because they do have a lot of stuff, but they can definitely find things that work best for you based off of what you say your interests are. So ShoeDazzle is doing all the homework for you. Make sure you enter your email address once you take the style quiz, as you'll receive exclusive monthly discounts and the inside scoop about new collections that have been released. So for me, I'm actually going to be going to Japan, and you know Japan's all about that style. So for me, I had to get on top of my style game and also get something that was really comfortable to walk around in because I expect to be walking around a lot in Japan. I got the Jane Glitter Hiker Booty. So it's a hiking boot, but it also has a little bit of sparkle. So I thought it'd be really fun to match that with different outfits and wear in the Harajuku quarter, which is more of like the fashion-forward playfulness. I also got the J Block Heel Combat Boot, which is, you know, one of those combat. I'm going to be walking a lot in Japan. I need this. And I also love that Shoe Dazzle isn't only shoes, they have clothes. So I got myself some jackets because it's going to be a little bit colder in Japan. I got this one. Okay, this jacket I'm so excited about. It's the long hair faux fur coat and it's in mustard. I'm obsessed with mustard and I'm so excited to rock this jacket all around Japan and Tokyo. So before I forget and talk all about Japan, Shoe Dazzle is offering my listeners an exclusive deal. Get your first Shoe Dazzle style for as low as $10 as a VIP. It's all about that VIP access. That's 75% off your first item with my special link. Just go to shoedazzle.com/long, that's LONG, to take advantage of this deal right now. That's shoedazzle.com/long to get your first style for as low as $10 as a VIP. Guys, I always want to be in the VIP line. I don't know about you. You can also get free shipping on orders over $39, and there's absolutely no commitment when you purchase your first order. shoedazzle.com/long. So, my first time getting birth control was a little bit of a mess, and I think everyone's first experience getting birth control could be a little bit crazy. I had to research different places to go, and I didn't want to talk to my parents about it, so I had to kind of finagle how to do it on my own. And it was literally the first time I ever went to the doctor's office by myself. And it's intimidating. It's really intimidating. So Simple Health is an amazing way to get birth control on your own and delivered right to your door. So no more waiting rooms or pharmacy lines, no more judgments or hassle. Get birth control prescribed, renewed, and delivered from wherever you are on your schedule. So whether you're brand new to birth control or just tired of dealing with renewals and pharmacies, Simple Health will take care of you. Just fill out an online health profile. A doctor reviews that you're a good candidate for birth control and writes a prescription. You can pick the birth control you want or have a doctor recommend the best one for you. Then your birth control ships to your door monthly, no interruptions. It's free with most insurance plans and starts at $15 a month without insurance. A better way to get birth control is finally here. Guys, this did not exist when I first started using birth control, and I think it's definitely a great resource to have, especially in a world where it's intimidating to get something like birth control and to worry about everyone's opinion about it. So something to definitely take note of is Simple Health is not a replacement for routine checkups with your doctor. We want you to get pap smears. We want you to get exams and check out and make sure your body is the healthiest it can be. So make sure you go into the doctor. This is just to get your birth control in a convenient way. Do not miss your chance to try Simple Health for free with my code by going to simplehealth.com/long or entering code LONG at checkout. That's simplehealth.com/long. Or you can enter LONG at checkout. That's simplehealth.com/long, LONG, or enter the code LONG at checkout. All right, guys, I'm here with Jessie and Bill, and we are going to be going into game time. This is down to date, and both of these guys agreed that they are down to date. So now we're going to be going into my favorite section, game time, and also, more specifically, debate time.
Ooh.
So this is where I give a subject, and I assign each of you guys with which side you will support, and you'll have 1 minute to defend your title and be the winner of the debate section. So the debates, let me see. The debate today, ooh. All right, one of my favorite questions. Is it morally okay if you happen to kill a murderer? Yeah, let that seep in, let that settle in. All right, I think I'm going to assign, Jessie, I think I'm going to have you say it is justifiable to kill a murder.
Okay.
And Bill, you're going to say no way. Murder in no capacity is okay. He's like so bummed. He's like, I secretly wanted to defend murder. All right, Jessie, you have 1 minute on the clock. You have 1 minute on the clock to defend murder and to say, hey, you know what? If he's a murderer, then he shouldn't be around. 1 minute on your mark, get set, go.
All right, I'm going to set a scenario for you.
I love scenarios.
Yeah. Your daughter has just been murdered by your neighbor, and you know it was your neighbor. There's facts that it was your neighbor. And you think, you know what? The cops aren't doing their job. I'm going to take this into my own hands. He's a murderer. He's killed many children. Well, I'm going to go murder him Because who needs another person like that on this planet?
But you'd
No
be
one.
another person like that.
True. And it's okay. I will take the consequences of that. But it still should be okay to murder a murderer. Let's see, what else do I have? This is a hard argument.
You have 19 seconds remaining.
Man. You know how bad the legal system is? There's slow. There's so many cold cases out there. If you know who did it, just take them out. There's a lot of the times states don't have death row anymore. That was
Just take him out, guys.
Just take him out. Why not?
How would one take him out, quote unquote?
Your choice.
You can't talk about it.
You're right. Okay, you're right, guys. I'm not showing any
you get
biased
caught.
opinions. You're so right.
That I must say that is probably the best debate I've ever partaken in.
I was very
My
proud of your
arguments.
debate.
Wow, I'm impressed with myself.
I'm impressed with you as well. Bill, do you think you can top that?
I will try.
You have 1 minute. I expect you to be convinced that murder is not justifiable in any capacity. On your mark, get set, go.
Okay, well, it's murder that we're talking about, so not okay by any means. If, it doesn't matter what they did to you or what they have done, it's not your place or your right as a human being to take another person's life. It's stooping to their level, and it is, it's just not okay. And we live in a place that you don't have to worry about things like that, and you don't have to take action into your own hands and do things like that. And it just makes you a bad human being, and you don't want to be in the same ship as them, or jail cell, whatever.
The murder ship?
Whatever.
Murder ship.
And it's just you shouldn't do it. I don't condone it.
Bill, all right, with that is your time. Bill is not setting sail on the murder ship. Jessie is, however. Jessie wants to go on that ship, and she wants to cruise to all the way around the world on that ship. I have to say, this is a hard one. This is a really difficult one. I in my heart, I feel like if that had actually happened to me, I'd be like, that sucker's going down.
Yeah.
But then when push comes to shove, would I really?
Yeah, I know. Same.
Would I really do that? I want to hear your guys' opinion, actually. If you had to kill somebody, how would you do it? Like, what would be your tactic?
I don't know. Like, if it really came down to it, actually, never say never, because if it's survival over not. Like, if you were literally in a scenario where you're going to die or the other person's going to die, I feel like things kind of take over, like survival.
Natural instincts of murder.
Yes, of murder, yeah.
Kill or be killed.
Yeah, exactly. What if it was that? Who knows? I don't know. I was going to say I'd probably just die because I wouldn't know how.
You wouldn't know how to murder, so you're
Your
like,
survival instincts kick in, though.
Yeah, I know. So then it's like, I don't know. I don't know why I keep thinking I'm like in a jungle doing this. That's like where my head's going.
It makes me think of, what was that one book that we had to read when we were in middle school?
Oh.
Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies. There was a lot of murder going on there.
Yeah.
Justifiable and unjustifiable murder.
So for some reason I have this vision I'm in a jungle killing someone. So with that I would take a rock maybe.
Rocks. I mean, that was probably the original murder weapon, was a rock.
Don't ask me why I'm in a jungle, but I am.
I like that scenario because, anything goes down in a jungle. Anything's okay
maybe
in a
that's
jungle.
why.
Would you say no? Jungles are not okay to kill people.
I never said that.
You are on the side of no murder.
Oh, but I thought, okay. Well, am I not giving like a...
Or we can hear what you really think.
Well, I was going to say, I thought, so the question was, how would you do it?
Yeah. What would be your choice?
I don't know.
Your weapon of choice.
My weapon of
your
choice?
Method of
it kind of just
choice?
depends on the situation or the setting or like what's going on and like where you are and what you have accessible. Because sometimes like,
are you in the jungle or are you on a boat?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I feel like however I did it, we would be having this conversation. You guys would be having this conversation forever because nobody would ever know.
Oh, this guy watches a lot of Forensic Files. We know.
It's a great show.
We know. All right, guys, both of you had very compelling arguments, and I saw a little bit of intensity in both of your guys' eyes. I can see the competitive edge for sure.
Yeah.
But we're going to stop game time for now, and we're going to be getting a little bit more serious. So we are going to be going in depth. So in front of you guys, you each have a stack of flashcards. You guys are going to be interviewing each other with those flashcards. So Bill, you're going to go first. You can read Jessie the first flashcard. She's going to answer it, and then I want you to answer it too, because we want all the answers up in here.
I can do that. From the top?
From the top.
From the top.
Or you can just go in the middle. Nope. Take risks. He's going from the... Oh, first on the top.
On the top. What do you like most about yourself?
Ooh. I like that I am both creative and yet also, for lack of a better word, type A. I feel like it's a very interesting combination of things that allows me to succeed in my career and helps me kind of through other aspects of my life. So I think that's the best part of me. One of the best parts of me.
You know, type A is one of those love-hate.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I amazing like passion in going for it. And then I always feel like I'm in trouble when I'm around type A people. I'm like, I was not ready for this. I'm not as prepared as you are, but I admire type A people.
Yeah. I should say not necessarily, well, no, I'm kind of type A, but more detail oriented. But then I have a very creative side too. So it's like a very interesting
a good
balance. Yeah.
How about you, Bill?
I guess I'm very, you can get like both extremes with me. Like I can be super carefree and easygoing and whatnot, but also very serious sometimes and like get shit done and hard worker, you know what I mean? Which makes like being in that in-between ground a little tough sometimes, but I feel like it's worth it because when you are in the extremes, your character and who you are shines more so than just being kind of like in the middle of the road.
Oh, I like that. All right. Well, with that, Jessie, next question.
Have you ever been in love? When was the moment you knew, if you have been?
No, because I've been in two relationships in my life. Both of them were I wasn't me, you know what I mean? Like I didn't really figure out who I was until I moved out here and got my head straight. And I haven't been in a relationship since I've been out here, so it's kind of impossible to have been in love, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you ever been in love?
I haven't.
Jessie?
I've never been in love.
Guys, you both have never been in love before.
Yeah, I know. It's really, it's a tragedy, truly.
Well,
I mean,
why?
I've been in love with my cat.
That's true. That's a fair question. Is it a tragedy to have never been in love?
I think so. At least for me. I don't know. I would love to be in love. Even if it ended in tragedy or heartbreak. Just
you
to
say
like have yeah, but it's better to feel than not.
That's true.
Yeah. Bill, next question. These are getting in depth. Talking about love.
I know.
Murder and love.
What is your biggest dream?
Ooh. Biggest, I mean, the most simple dream is just to be happy. That is truly like my goal in life is no matter where I'm at, I want to be happy. But big dream, one of my big dreams is to like own a animal sanctuary for like for a bunch of rescue animals, like have a cute or a huge like cat spot, a huge dog. Like I just want to like save and love on animals for the rest of my life. So that's a big goal of mine, but I don't necessarily want it to be my career. So I want to already be successful and happy in what I'm doing, and then can kind of invest in nonprofit situation with that stuff.
So like just have like a whole farm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It sounds like heaven to me.
Yeah.
Are you an animal person?
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally hang out at your animal sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
Oh, date 2 maybe?
Date 2. We're buying a huge plot of land. I hope you have the money for it because I don't. Just kidding.
Well, how about you, Bill? What is your biggest dream?
You know, everybody has, I guess everybody has their small dreams and like what they achieve to do throughout their life. But like she said, at the very end of the day, like nothing you really do or how you live your life matters if you're not happy with yourself and who you are, and like just if you're not a happy person. I think as long as I can achieve that, then everything else will come with it, you know? I'm good at doing a lot of things. I could throw out dreams to do this and that and whatnot, but like at the end of the day, if I'm not happy with myself, then none of that shit really matters, you know?
That's so true. Man, that's like a very like in-depth, insightful answer. It's true though. I mean,
you said we were getting deep.
I love it. I absolutely love it. This is great. Yeah, it's so true. I feel like it doesn't really matter what you do. It's how you do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the passion that you put inside of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Next one.
Next question, Jessie.
What do you think people's first impression is of you?
Oh man,
that's a good one.
Wow, this can vary because sometimes I'm just on one, you know.
What way?
I don't know. You'll just have to see. Maybe second date, third date. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I feel it kind. I don't know. That's kind of a weird question because like, how do I know what somebody thinks of me the first time they see me? You know, like I'm good at reading room and like reading people's vibes and whatnot. So like I can get a general idea, but
how would you react to meeting you for the first time? Ooh. What would your thought be?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never thought about that one.
It's all about getting in depth. You were all for it.
You know, I've been prone to I can have crazy streaks. I can just be a wild child and like, you know, a lot to handle. And I feel like that if that's where I'm at when somebody meets me, they're like, this person's a lot, you know, funny and like charming and whatnot, but at the same time, very, like I said, the extremes, very intense. Yeah, the passion. It's just like seeping out.
It's like life is a roller coaster, you know, ups and downs. That makes life interesting.
Yeah.
You know, having all the crazy and like everything. Like I can get crazy sometimes. Ask people who are close to me.
About to ask Joe when we get out of here.
Yeah, well, he'll have a lot to say about that. How about you, Jessie?
Let's see. First thing I think would be hair. I have a lot of hair, and I feel like that's a lot of what people notice, like physically about me first. And then I think I'm a fairly good conversationalist. I'm actually quite introverted, but I'm very good at having conversation and connecting with people. So I think if we're in a setting where there is conversation happening, I think that would be the first thing people recognize about me, that I'm very good at making people feel important or like cared for the lack of a better word, I guess.
I can sense that in you.
Yes, heard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can sense that. You have a very like strong comfortability about you and like a confidence.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Maybe we should go on another date after this.
Whoa.
Are you single?
No.
Dang it.
No.
Watch out, Joe.
Yeah, be careful, Joe. All right, who's next?
I don't remember. Is it
Bill? I believe it's your turn, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
Ever wonder about a moment when your life could have gone down a completely different path?
Yes. Definitely thought about those moments. One in particular, let's see. I mean, the one that first comes to mind is when I quit my job in Alabama. I was on a path to continue prop styling and working with that magazine, and I was very successful at it, and I could definitely see myself kind of taking the steps up the ladder. It was a very corporate environment, but I just wasn't mentally happy at all. And so when I quit my job, I didn't have a plan. And like I said, I moved in with my dad. Like I was very lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. My childhood dream was to work at a magazine, and I achieved that. And when that kind of fell apart, it took me a while to figure out my next steps. And so during that time of reflection, I definitely thought about maybe I should have just stuck with that. Maybe I should have, tried something else while I was down there. Why did you give up? Like all of those kind of questions. But looking back now that I'm in a very good place, of course, everything happened for a reason. And I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah. It was all worth it taking a risk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you? I'm sure you also very similarly moved away from home, starting a new life in LA. So how about you?
Yeah, that is actually the that's where I was gonna go with this. I won't go into detail because I don't think it's really podcast worthy, at least first date worthy. But I was just not in a good place when I was back home, and I had a moment where it was like, I remember it specifically. I was like mentally breaking, and I was like, I have two choices right now. I can either just keep doing what I'm doing, or I can call my mom. And I called my mom. I met her at a Chick-fil-A on Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee, and
Chick-fil-A.
What she ordered?
I kind of just laid everything down to her, and I was on a flight to Los Angeles the next day.
Nice.
So if I hadn't done that, I can't even say if I would be walking this earth anymore.
Wow.
Powerful.
It takes a lot of bravery.
Yeah.
To ask for help.
100%.
You have to, if you have to want it.
You have to
for it
swallow your pride
work.
too. An ego in a lot of ways, at least for me.
Best decision I ever made.
Yeah. It sounds like it. I mean, you're both in LA, you know, definitely. The best decisions are always the ones that scare you because it brings you into it's like you're on the border of what you're capable of.
Yeah.
If you keep pushing that border, you'll end up finding your dream.
Yeah, I've heard this isn't an exact quote, but when you're along a path of something you really need to do, you're going to be feeling the most resistance to that. Like wherever there's a strong push, there's going to be a strong pull back, and so you're doing the right thing if it's hard.
Is that Newton's second law?
It has to do with that, but I know that's not like what I'm taking it from. I forget who the discussion was.
Math, science. But you know what, guys? Science is romantic. Math is romantic. The universe works in ways like that. I know, maybe not in high school. Maybe math and science weren't very romantic in high school, but everything connects in that way.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're going to do one more question.
Okay.
So, Jessie, you have the honor of the last question.
Okay. You have a crystal ball that can show you any point in time of your life. What/when do you want to see? Is it any point in life in general or in your specific personal life?
Your specific personal life.
Well, it would definitely be the future because I already know what's happened in the past to a certain extent. So what point would I jump to? I feel like I'm like still kind of figuring myself out and like making myself a better person right now. It'd be cool to know like what's going on in like 10 years, you know. When I'm older, if I don't have my life set up by then, it's like you don't have a chance, you know. But you've had like 40, 50 years to get your shit together. If you don't by then, it's like, well. But, you know, I'm curious to know like what's going to be going on when I do feel completely comfortable with myself and know who I am. You know what I mean? Like basically in my prime.
10 years prime. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it.
There you
Quarter
go.
life crisis over.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost ready
Just
for our
on the
midlife
verge,
crisis.
on the verge of the midlife, but not quite there yet.
Right
So
before
shit's
the
going really
recession.
well.
That's a sweet spot, you know, right there, right before.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about you, Jessie?
I'm gonna take it the other way, and I think I would go to my past,
Wow.
specifically in moments in my life in which I could tell my younger self to like not worry about certain things or approach things a little bit differently, knowing that it will help me like in my personal development sooner than when I realized it later on in life, I guess. Specifically, maybe, you know, back in those really hard middle school, high school days, especially for girls who, you know, our bodies are changing. Girls are really mean. You don't know how to kind of process the changes you're going through. And for me, I really shut down and blocked a lot of people out of my life because I didn't know how to process it. And I think if I could go back in time and tell my younger self that it's going to be okay, and just, I guess, reassurance from an older, wiser me would be really interesting to see.
It's like you as a fairy godmother.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost the risk of the butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's true. Like how would you change if you did change the past? Yeah.
I just feel like I'd want to go back and look at my birth.
That is so amazing.
Would it be crazy? Just like watch yourself being born.
That's me.
It's like, wow. I look like a little freaking raisin.
Alien baby.
A little veiny,
what's
bloody
funny
raisin.
in your case is that you'd be like,
That's
that was crazy. I
amazing.
can see it again.
I can see Kylie too,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause I have a twin sister. So if you don't know, I have a twin sister. I can see both of our births.
So good. I love that answer.
I can either be scarred forever.
I think it'll be a little bit of both.
That also shows like, my mom's there.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
But, little baby Kendall.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Screaming.
All right, so I absolutely loved where this conversation went. And with that, we are going to be taking a quick break. When we get back, we are going to see if Jessie and Bill are down to date. Stay tuned. Honesty time. And that brings me actually to Honesty Time, which is a part of the podcast where we bring you in and we want you to, look back at everything that happened in the podcast. Maybe if you forgot what you said, I'll remind you. And, really opening up and just kind of getting your opinion about the entire podcast and how it's been going so far.
Well, I was really nervous coming in here. Honestly, like having a moderator at a date it makes things way easier because then if you're not I don't know, if the conversation went south, like you just kind of pull out of it,
Well, maybe even putting questions in that you never even thought about asking, or games that bring out different sides of you that maybe you never did in a date before.
Yeah, I mean, some of the, a lot of those questions I would never talk about on a first date.
And I love that.
Hey, so, just trying to get to know you. Would you ever murder somebody?
That's like number one question that I ask everybody when they come in. But when you first came in here, what was your first impression of Jessie?
It's funny that she said her hair. Obviously her hair, the moment that I saw her, I have like many redheads in my family too. So that's like very striking for me. She's pretty, and I felt really bad. She smashed her finger on the walk up here.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It was like bleeding through the Band-Aid. It was endearing though. Clumsiness is endearing.
Yes, it is.
And she seems very like goal-driven, very job-oriented. Is that something that you're usually attracted to in someone that you date?
Yeah, most definitely. My my last girlfriend was even though it was years ago, she was a spoiled brat. Her parents gave her everything. She never had to work a day in her life. And it drove me fucking crazy because I have had to work my entire life. My parents didn't really give me anything. And so that's just kind of the person I am. And, that reflects on like the type of, like, even if you're not like in a working environment, whatever, it just like the spoiledness, it just
you
gets
admire
me.
Ambition in someone, especially a woman.
Exactly. Exactly. The drive, to like be your own person and like make things for yourself. You don't just expect to be handed things. I like that. I like somebody who goes for it.
And she did say that she had a quarter life crisis, and you did too.
Yes.
What do you think that quarter life crisis was?
For her, I don't know. I don't want to like.
Or I mean, it's nice that you both can relate.
She said something about her job and how it didn't go the way she wanted. So I feel like it has something to do with like that ending, and it was her dream job. So like when your dream job is over, what do you do with your life? It's like it kind of really makes you take a step back and think, like, well, what am I going to do now?
What's going through your head knowing that you both went through a quarter life crisis together?
Easy thing to relate to. Yes, like immediately. Because that was like a very big moment for me, and so for her to have gone through the same thing, it's like that's always something that we both will have, and we can always share together. It was like a really big deal for me. I'm sure it was for her. I don't know the details, but yeah, it's knowing that she's had to go through something like that. I know that she's a stronger person because of it, especially seeing her now after the fact. Like, oh, you were you're down in the trenches and you like made it happen. So
how do you feel about having a future on a farm?
I would do great, especially if there's a bunch of animals around. You kidding me? I am from Tennessee, so I definitely have the southern roots. Yeah, I don't know. I could definitely see myself being out in the country, not around people when I'm older. You know what I mean? Like I've paid my dues.
Of
yeah,
you need an
exactly.
oasis away.
I just want to be around animals.
I don't blame you. The world would be way better just with all animals.
Yeah.
What do you think Jessie's going to say when it comes down to her being down to date or not?
Is this like are you basically asking her if she a yes or no, like thumbs up or thumbs down?
Is it thumbs
type
up
deal?
or thumbs down? Yeah, at the end, both of you guys. That's a whole part of this is being honest and seeing if you're down to date.
Yeah, I mean, confidence, man. Thumbs up all the way. She can't say no.
Yeah. I can see like the farm together, you know?
But the farm.
But we are going to see if you are ready to go on a date with Jessie. We're going to bring Jessie in and also do honesty time. And yeah, we'll see if you guys are both down to date. Honesty time. So you see Bill sitting here when you first come in. What's your first impression?
Say quirky, a little bit quirky. Gives off kind of a low-key vibe, sort of. A little spastic. It seems like he has a little bit of problem with attention, which, you know, fair. Whatevs. Tall. Those would probably be my first impressions.
Those are some strong adjectives.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much.
Is Bill normally someone that you would go for? Normally someone you'd be interested in dating?
No, not really. I was trying to figure out why, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I really like got to know his like soul in any way.
I definitely feel like he was incredibly honest, like while going through all the questions.
Yeah.
Were there any red flags that went through your head as you were going through the questions with him and as you're getting to know Bill?
Nothing like that I would be concerned of, I guess. A little, like I said, a little ADD. Like I don't know if, I think he would have maybe problems like sitting still and like connecting.
It sounded like he went through a really difficult past.
Yes.
And what are your thoughts on that? Is that something that's a red flag to you?
Not necessarily a red flag, but definitely something that stuck in my mind of, I guess, questioning, depending on what it was, if like me as a person could handle that past, which sounds really selfish of me, but also I guess I would just need to know more about it before making that decision, because I don't want to hold anyone's past against them in any way. I'm not that kind of person. I've had a past. Like we've all been there. We've all grown and changed. But I think certain people are equipped with certain qualities that can handle certain things, I guess. I don't know. That was probably explained poorly.
No, completely fine. I mean,
Okay.
it was interesting. I found that both of you guys had never been in love before.
Yeah.
Or your definition of love, you've never experienced that before. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that and that you both share that?
Really fascinating, because I definitely feel like I'm someone at my age, it's very rare not to have fallen in love. Just especially even if you thought you were in love in high school, like you still had that feeling, which I'd never had. So it was again reassuring that I'm not the only one that feels that way.
Now, you seem to share a lot of steps in life, you know, a lot of experiences in common, which is really interesting. It's actually pretty rare to find things that correlate that much.
Well, and we've both lived in Tennessee. Like, that's interesting. Obviously, we're both in LA now.
Yeah, Tennessee in your hearts. Yeah. Owning a ranch maybe in the future with a bunch of of animals. But when you had said it would be tragic if you've never been in love, and he said, would it? What was going through your mind when he said that?
Closed offness? I don't know. I don't think I really fully processed that. Just like, oh, he's saying maybe not.
Do you think Bill was closed off during the...
A little bit, yeah.
What do you think? So at the end of this, you are going to say if you are down to date or not. That's the whole point of the podcast. So what do you think Bill's going to say?
I have no idea.
Maybe he's a man of mystery after all.
Yeah, maybe he is. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you have your mind made up about what you're going to say? Don't tell me.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah. All right, well, it's going to get down to that moment of truth. So we're going to bring Bill in, and we're going to see if you guys are both down to date.
Oh, my God.
You can hear a pin drop right now.
The tension.
All right, guys, we are back. This is Down to Date. We have Jessie and Bill both here to see if they are down to date. So in front of you guys, you have a card. On one side, it says down. The other side says not. At the same time, when I count to 3, you guys are going to reveal to the camera and to each other if you guys are down to date on the count of 3.
And what does that mean?
Either you're down to go on another date,
Okay.
or not, and you feel like maybe you just want to stay friends. I think during this point, it's so important to be honest and to say what you really want, because we know how hard dating is in the real world. And so, I personally don't believe in the ghosting method. I believe in the tell it to the person's face, don't shy away from the truth, because the truth will set you free.
It's the healthier way of doing it, for sure.
It is the healthier way of doing it.
It's the adult way.
In the adult way, exactly. All right, so on the count of 3, you're going to show us your card, and you're also going to say in the mic, down or not.
Okay.
All right, so on the count of 3, guys, are you down to date? 1, 2, 3.
Not.
I'm down.
Down? All right, I want to hear your guys' reason. Jessie, why did you say not?
So I said not because I'm really drawn to someone I can like vibe off of in terms of humor. And I just didn't quite feel that. Like when I was kind of making jokey things, like Kendall and I were kind of building off each other in ways. And I just wasn't getting that from you. Not that you aren't that way. That was just like first date impression. And that was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. How about you? Why did you say down, Bill?
I mean, why not? You seem like a fun person. Why? I don't. There are no red flags for me. Like, I'm always down to give somebody a chance.
Fair.
I also, I don't think you can. This is a very irregular setting.
For sure. For sure.
So you can't. You.
What? You don't meet people this way? What?
I don't normally go on your guys' dates.
Yeah. Oh my god. What a joy it would be.
But it's true. It is a very irregular setting.
Yeah. So I don't know. Why? Again, like why not? It could be fun.
Yeah. Risk taker.
Could have been fun.
Could have.
No, but I think the most important thing is to be honest and to just fully express how you feel, and that's what this is all about. It's all about completely being honest, and maybe in a different setting, but with cameras and lights and everything, it's crazy. It's a crazy experience to go through.
And hey, I actually would be down to be your friend, though. You seem no, I'm serious. You seem really cool.
What did you learn about being on Down to Date?
I learned that dating's really hard. But I really loved the fact that you kind of, you didn't waste time. Got right into it. Got right into the fun questions, this maybe more serious questions, the questions that matter. And I think that is something you don't necessarily get in the real dating world.
Yeah.
Bill, it's a lot of fluff.
Exactly. I feel like the same thing. That's what I love about this podcast is I feel like you just get down to the nitty gritty right away. You tear off the Band-Aid, not the Band-Aid that you have. We're not tearing that off.
I might need a new Band-Aid though. It's really ratchet.
How about you, Bill? What is the one thing that you learned about being on the podcast?
I guess it's even though it didn't end in a mutual down, it still made me reaffirm that you should always just be yourself, and like it'll attract the right people eventually. Or I would have hated to come in here and not been myself, and then you would be like, yeah, sure, let's do it, and then figure out that actually that's not who he is. What I mean?
What a waste of time.
Exactly. So,
yeah,
whatever.
I appreciate that both you guys were definitely down to do this experience, go for it. It's never easy to be vulnerable and to put yourself out there, but I'm so happy that you guys both came on. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Kendall. Oh my
Thanks,
gosh,
Kendall.
This is so fun.
Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Down to Date podcast with Kendall Long. Make sure you guys rate, review, subscribe. If you also want to get more updates about who's coming into the studio, you can look at the Instagram at Down to Date podcast. Make sure you guys tune in next time to see if our couple is down to date.